How are we now? Okay, good, good. I have where did you get up to in the explanation? I'm just looking on the all right. I have no idea if any of the last stuff recorded or not. I don't actually know where it dropped out, so I'm just gonna. I apologize. I seem to have terrible luck with webinar platforms. It was the weirdest thing. As I was going, just everything disappeared on my control panel up here. I couldn't see the video that I was broadcasting anymore. It couldn't restart the screen share. Tried to restart my browser, and it just went into this really bizarre little loop, this cycle where it kept reloading the page. It would prompt me to start the webinar. I'd click the button, and it would just refresh, taking me back into it. So no idea. I apparently have the worst luck with webinar software in the world, which was a shame because there were several things I liked about this platform, and I don't know, I might have to switch to something else again. All right, I'm going to go through the questions. I apologize. Thank you all for sticking around. Let's see. So there's a couple questions in here. Let me zoom out just a little bit. The first question we've got here is, I've got here, is there a way when creating a gig that you can take the contact's address and add it as the venue address without having to type it in again? Yes. So let me give you a quick example. I'm going to jump into one of these example gigs. I'm going to edit the contact's address here. I'm going to just put something in here. So we'll put an address in here. I'll save this, and I'm going to jump into the related lead or the related gig. If I click edit here, so I can actually start editing some of the fields here. Under the venue address, there's a little menu here where I can copy the address from the contact. I can copy the address from the contact company. So by popping this down, click on this, I'm able to copy the address over from the contact and kind of populate that automatically. And so you're able to do that in the gig, in the lead. And actually, this has been such a popular and useful field that we're going to put that in the creation pop-ups as well. So like right now, if I create a lead, there's not, we don't have an option that menu is not there for the venue address. So I'm going to add that in there. But certainly you can do that right now. I also think that'd be useful to, oh man, I forgot to share my screen. I'm a little flustered. I apologize, folks. When this thing started flaking out, it's got me a little thrown off. Let me jump back into here. Focus on the thing here. So what you missed is I clicked edit on the contact, and I went and made sure that the contact had an address associated with it. Now, once I did that, I clicked save, and then clicked on the link to get to the lead. And by clicking edit on the lead, edit allows me to go and make some changes in here. On the venue address right there, there's another kind of ... menu, and there are the options to copy the address from the contact or from the company. So clicking copy address from the contact will actually pull that through and fill that in right there. Now, so this exists. I can save this. You can do the same thing with a gig that you can with a lead. I think one of the reasons you're asking is because under the new menu here, on the creation pop-up, there's that little drop-down doesn't exist, but it's been so well received and so useful that I'm going to add that in. The next one, let's see. So we have a question here. How do you group contacts by a category? So there's a certain contact will be added to a contact list whenever a category is chosen in the contact form. So right now, the way that I'm doing that is kind of a couple different ways. Certainly, when you create a contact form, if I jump over to the automation menu on the side to contact forms, there is an option as we go and edit the different details here. On the response, you can start applying different tags for everything that comes in through that form. And that's certainly useful if you have a form that is an opt-in form, if you have a form that you use to book specific types of shows. For example, if you have a birthday website and you do birthday parties, great. Then put, birthday client as one of the tags for everybody who fills in that form. Likewise, I create a few custom forms for quick data entry of different things. So, getting data out of Gig Masters into Mago, getting business cards keyed into Mago and running off some things. So I have different forms that are used specifically for entering certain information, and so I run that routine. These get tagged for everything that comes in through the. These get tagged for everything that comes in through that form. Now, this doesn't necessarily. That might be overly broad. You might not want to tag everything that comes in. So certainly, what I do in terms of picking certain things for a certain category, I have automation routines set up to quote close-up shows, corporate shows, trade shows, conferences, speaking events, all these different things that I do. And so as part of the routine, in fact, I'm just going to jump over into one of these routines. These are all kind of some samples. So quoting a trade show, for example, one of the first things I might do as part of that is have a step to tag the contact. And it looks like this. If I click plus and I go and I say, this is the action that I want to do, tag the contact, and I want to apply the tag trade show client. Then I just have this runs as soon as the routine is run, I save that, and that becomes one of my tags that I have here that we can use. And you can do this again and again with different tags. And that's really where I would get into that. The other things you can do for certain people, if you create a ticket, if you have a very kind of advanced way that you want to use the forms, some people are. Some people are using Mago actually have forms where there are drop downs that will automatically run different routines based on different options they choose, and will pre-fill like different prices and things for different ranges. Certainly, we can have a talk about that and creating some kind of custom, custom form like that to do a lot of that tagging. And I really recommend that. The thing that makes the tags useful is their consistency, and you don't ever want to get into a situation where you're like all of a sudden you want to send a mail out, or you want to do something with a mail blast or some kind of thing like that, and it's too late. You haven't got any of your contacts grouped, and now you got to go through hundreds or thousands of contacts and start categorizing them, tagging them. Really, the way to make this work and the way to make this successful is to build the tagging into your day-to-day process. So if you have a routine that tags a client, then by all, then for a certain type of client, then by all means, definitely tag that specific contact. Also with the form, also just as you go to start to build this up. Now, all of your tags are available here under contacts tags, and this is where you can look at them. You can seek out a particular tag who all's been tagged with that, what all contacts are tagged with that, how many you've got for each tag. This is kind of your master list. And as we start building out more and more features around the tags, there'll be more and more that you can do when you're looking at a list of corporate clients, printing labels, sending an email blast, things like that. This is where a lot of that is going to be. We got another question just from the chat, so I'm going to jump over to that. Sandra, oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I do that a lot with, so the automation in Mago can automate more of the booking process, the business process, or it can be just more of a pure autoresponder, if that makes sense. So you can just queue up a series of emails. So typically the way that I do this, this is kind of a demo account that I'm logged into right now. But one thing I did for a long time on my Facebook page as a promotion was you could opt in and get a magic trick a week. I think for I had videos and they would teach you a magic trick a week for 12 weeks or something like that. And that was exactly what I did. So I created a routine, and in here you can kind of see the process here. I'll call this I would probably put this under the gig automation, because it's not something I want to cancel if and when they book a show. But I would call this my magic trick per month opt-in, and give it a description, give it kind of a whatever. So I select my first thing, send email, and I would send my first email. Let's say, it would be a welcome message. I don't think I have one in here, but my first email template, I'll just pick something at random. My first email template would be the kind of welcome message and the first video. I click next, and I schedule this to run right away. And if these are weekly, the next thing I would do is I click up here to create another one, send email. And I would pick whatever my second email template was going to be. And again, I want this to go to the contact. I'm going to schedule this to go in 7 days. And I can continue doing this for all my emails in my opt-in sequence. And then the way I kind of make this completely automated, I go to my contact forms, and I'll create one. I'll just call this my magic trick opt-in. Click next. And I have my form fields. I just want first name, last name, email. I don't want anything else for an opt-in form, so I'm just going to leave that there. I might put some kind of thing in here. Let me see if I have I wonder if I still have the image. I had one of these that was that had a little learn magic thing. Oh, whatever. We'll pretend this says something about learning magic. We'll put that in there, and we can put that video in there if we want. We can scale it down, and this would be whatever I wanted there. If you want to make these fancy, it's not necessary. In fact, that's probably a little excessive. So I'm just going to leave that there, and I'll just have everything around on the website. So when you're creating a contact form, on this response tab, there are a few options. You can use a response template that will just send out an email address, or you can have it run an entire routine. I want it to run the routine. This is my option. So my routine is going to send these emails out every single month. Now you can. So now you can send this out to people who are opting in, or you can make this as part of your process without really having to do anything. And then maybe we could tag these. I could call this my magic trick opt-in form. And now everybody gets tagged with that. So if I want to send a special mailing later just to that tag, now everybody who's opted in on that form, they get whatever tags they want. Notifications for me. This is an opt-in form. It doesn't require any action on my part, so I'm going to leave all this blank. There's nothing that I need to do because it's going to automatically run the routine. It's going to send out of these things. And then Sandra, so for a lot of that stuff, sending those automated emails out every week, yep, absolutely, you can do that and save a couple $100 a month if you're already paying for Infusionsoft just to do that. Let me jump back to the questions. Is there a way to add a group of contacts all at once? Certainly when you're importing, the import tool is up here. If I jump over to that, when you're importing your contacts, I'll just pull the spreadsheet down. I don't think you can see that unless I change my screen share. But when you're defining your contacts in your spreadsheet, when you have to apply the tags in there, and we're working on the right UI for other ways to do detailed searches and bulk apply tags to contacts as well. So more is coming in that space, but certainly the easiest way to do it is as you're importing with the spreadsheet to apply those tags there. The other question that I've got here is a mass email send out function. There is one now. It's going through a few more refinements just to kind of make it as easy as possible. There is as easy rather as possible to use. So honestly, that's kind of my project, my big project for this week is to get that in place, get all of the analytics in place so that you can start using that and maybe send out a Black Friday newsletter. That's my goal. If you got some of the notifications that I sent out talking about Barry's webinar and just the announcements around the launch of Mago a few weeks ago, those actually got sent through the Mago broadcast engine. So it is there, and my main goal is to release that with the consistent quality that you would expect and the user friendliness, if that makes sense. So we should be seeing that here, hopefully, like I said, this week or by the end of the weekend at the latest. So with that, I know we've got a few people here, and did we have any other questions that I can address here, or I'll switch back over to my smiling face. I'm just going to look over to the chat, look over and see if there's anything anything else that you all want to discuss, talk about, dig deeper into. Otherwise, we might wrap it up, and I'll send an email asking Webinar Ninja folks what exactly happened there. All right. Well, thank you all, Sandra, Carol, Christian, everybody on the call. I appreciate you all for checking in. I hope I was able to answer your questions. I hope everything worked. So we'll find out on the replay. But and future notifications for the webinars, I'm going to put those in the support menu there, the help menu on the side, on the main navigation. So right now you've got the knowledge base, you've got the support tickets, you've got things like that. I'm going to add the webinars and the replays in there so everybody can kind of see those. And it's just one link to always subscribe to the next one, whenever that is. So thank you all for coming out, and I hope I answered your question. Actually, I haven't heard any more on the chat, so I secretly hope that we're all still live, but I'm sure it looks like everything's still going. So thank you all. Have a great holiday if you're in the United States and you're going to eat a lot of food this week. Have a great holiday. I know, having spent quite a bit of time living in the UK, somebody asked me once, do you celebrate Thanksgiving in the UK? And I would always joke back, well, yes, but they celebrated on the 4th of July. Thank you, Christian. But yes, so have a great holiday, a great break. Hope the December season is, or the holiday season is looking very good for your business. And I will see you all next week.